Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for joining us, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you are new. Other than that, let's go ahead and get into today's topic. Yes, I'm sure you guys are looking at like what's going on here. Are you about to do a makeup tutorial? No, none of that's going on today. I am literally taking a break from makeup as far as this week goes. Skin regimen, as you all know, I use the Retin A, so I have to take a week off before I can wax my face or doing things like that, because if you try to wax your skin while using Retin A, you are in for a disaster and you will likely take off the top layer of your skin and be looking crazy. So I usually take a week off from it so that way I can wax my face and do all those things. And I'm still waiting for another 2 days. So kind of random ramblings, but not so much. Little Q&A, and we'll move into some other things. But I did want to go over some stuff and let you guys know what's going on with me as well. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Today, I do want to talk about a couple of products that most of us have, probably don't realize, or are sleeping on, whatever the case may be, to help you do a better makeup application. A lot of people tend to feel that they need to buy the most expensive products and the most products period to get a nice makeup application, and that simply is not the case. So I'm going to go over a couple of things so that you know you're on the right track, so that you can get the makeup application you desire. And pretty much to become much better at makeup application, it takes time and it takes practice. So if you have a day that you're not doing anything, go ahead, break out your makeup and practice on yourself, because that's the only way that you're going to get better, is through practice. The first thing that I want to address, because I personally feel like it's one of the most important things, because most people aren't concerned about how to get their skin a certain way. They're more concerned about how to get their eyes blended out and looking really, really smooth and transitional. The best way to ensure that you get beautiful blended eye makeup is with your brushes. I do understand that there are a lot of brush companies out there. There are a lot of, cheaper alternatives, but one thing I find is that you end up spending more money opposed to just investing in something that's going to be of decent quality. I'm going to show you an example. You guys know my holy grail blending brush is the MAC 217. This is the Morphe M433 brush, which is supposed to be basically a spot-on dupe for the MAC 217. Now, on the surface level, they are duplicates, and I would say that with the Morphe brush, using it a few times, you probably wouldn't notice too much of a difference. And I actually went, I'm just dropping stuff everywhere. Store, if you guys remember my Morphe haul video, I want to say like 2 years back or so, and had bought about 5 of Morphe's brushes over time. And these ones are newer because I did have to replace them. The general function of the brush is the same, but the quality is not. Yes, you could get 2 of Morphe's brushes for the price of 1 of MAC's, but you're not going to get the MAC quality. What I noticed after washing the Morphe brushes, after the 5th and 6th time of needing to wash them, and I hand washed my brushes with a moisturizing antibacterial, fibers started to fray out. The actual hair got a little dry, and these are the same things that I'm using to wash my quality brushes with. So I know it's not the soap. These are okay if you absolutely need some blending brushes, but if you can get your hands on a 217, I'd do that first. But with the eyes, I personally would rather just spend the money necessary to go ahead and get a brush that I know is not going to tear up on me. And I say that because here's an example. Don't you judge me. This is my very first ever MAC brush, which is a powder brush for, the face. The bristles are still super soft. I can still, you see that there, it's moving. So the bristles are still super soft. Everything's coming in. None of the fibers are falling out on it. None of the hairs are falling out on it. This is when MAC used to still hand make their brushes. I've had this brush, I want to say, since 2005. And this is still a brush that I use practically daily. So I cannot stress the importance of investing in good brushes. 12 years and it's still holding on. So the next product that I want to talk about is going to be setting powders. For the most part, setting powders do just that. Set your makeup and push in place to kind of lock it in place. I find multiple uses for setting powders only because the jars, as you can see, that they come in, I'm not gonna say it's impossible to go through these, but it takes a long time to go through these. Now, this is the Beauty Bakery one. As you guys can see through it a little bit more. I have been wearing this powder out. And the differences in powders will usually be how fine they're milled, if they have a color of any sort or whatnot. It's just like finding the right powder for you can be a little daunting of a task. But if you know what the powder's for, you'll have a much easier time finding a powder that works for you. And basically a translucent powder is, with most brands, gonna be that stark white. And of course, if you're a woman of color, that can be a little off-putting. So of course they make different powders, some that have a pink tone to it, some have a yellow tone to it, some might have a brown tone to it. So it really becomes a preference based on what you're using the powder for. And just feeling this powder, this is the Beauty Baker powder, you can just tell how much more finely milled it is in Tradition compared to, say, my Ben Nye powder, banana powder. I noticed the difference between those two immediately. When I put my primer on my skin, I will set it with a loose setting powder so that it has another oil controlling factor in between the primer and the foundation. Press it into my skin here and all throughout here, so that way I have more oil control in those areas, and I find that that helps keep me, more matte throughout the day without pulling too much oil from the skin. And you can also use these to set your powder, set your makeup overall once you're all said and done with everything. And that pretty much, again, locks it in place. So if you're not sure of how to use the setting powder, it's pretty much for multiple purposes. But if you just want to set your makeup with it, you can take a brush like the one I just showed you guys and dust all over your whole face lightly, and that will also set your makeup. So now let's talk about setting sprays. But I do know that some people really are confused about what kind of setting spray they need. As of late, my favorite setting spray, whenever I know I'm gonna have to wear my makeup for a much longer time, is gonna be the Urban Decay All Nighter Spray. And this basically when I say locks it out, let me not say it that way. It locks it in place if you use enough of it, and you also can go overboard with this. I remember using it at one point and feeling like, oh my goodness, how much of it did I use, because my face felt so tight. And of course, I took my always go-to Fix Plus and went in with it, and it basically pushed the moisture back through it and helped it keep it in place also. So making sure you have a good setting spray is vital, because you want to make sure that you're able to push moisture through the skin or lock your makeup in place without having to do too much touch up after that. But when I set my makeup, I literally do a combination of setting sprays based on what's going on with my makeup, what's going on with the look. Do I want more of a dewy look? Do I want more matte? Again, it really just depends on what look you're going for to determine which setting spray you should use. Let's talk about highlighters. So, of course, highlighting is still all the rage. I'm just glad that overdone highlight is phasing out, because I'm more of a fan of a, natural kind of glow. I mean, I don't even have no highlighter on right now, obviously, but I'm a fan of natural glow. I don't want to overdo it, but what I find is a lot of people don't know which kind of highlighter to get for their skin tone. I'm talking about scenarios that I've seen when I'm working, and it's pretty easy to kind of get in that range. So I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit to kind of give you an example. Oh, because I'm in an angle, you can literally see it. So as you can tell, these top two are going to be the lightest. Then you kind of go into a nice medium tone and then a deeper tone. Medium tone into a deeper tone at the bottom. But let's put it this way. If you're fair skin, really, really light, you're probably going to stick to the highlighters that are that much lighter, because as you start to move down the spectrum into, medium deep tones, golden tones, it usually looks better as the skin tone goes up as well. Like for myself, an example, Max Gold Deposit, I personally feel is too gold for me. It looks beautiful on much deeper skin, but it's dark gold on me, and you guys already know I don't like gold like that. But the Rose Gold and the Golden Dawn up here in this palette, I use those two a lot, and Sunray as well, because it's a nice tone of gold that doesn't have too much yellow, which I don't like on my skin. But for the most part, depending on your skin tone, that'll determine the color of highlight you pick that complements your skin the best. So be careful with those highlighters. What kind of eyeshadow palette should you get if you do not have a bunch of colors, but you want to be able to create different looks? So many brands have palettes out today that are great to use, just nice to use. My biggest recommendation for someone who does not have a lot of makeup, that is looking to get started, with eye makeup, is to purchase a palette that does have more neutrals than crazy colors, because you'll get more use out of your neutral colors anyway. The neutral colors work for daily wear, when you go out, when you're going for work. No matter what you're doing, you basically have something that you can wear, opposed to buying, purples and blues and pinks that you're not, I'm not gonna say not ready for, but you're not in a place where you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to wear that today. It just looks pretty in the palette. Get you something that's going to be functional, that you will use. I recommend, don't judge me, my palette's dirty as hell. The Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette is a nice one, but if you're looking for something more small, then I would try like MAC Cosmetics. They have the smaller All About Eyes palettes that are nice little square size with 9 colors. With this palette, as you can see, you have a lot more neutrals. There's some shimmers in there, which is fine, but you have a nice mix of mattes, shimmers, plenty of neutral colors, plus your black, which you'll need, a dark color, whatnot, and some other bright colors. This is a great palette for somebody who's just starting, and it's all of, I want to say, 28, 32, something around there. It's not expensive at all to have a palette that you can create a ton of looks with. And I do like the Jaclyn Hill palette for that. I think that for the price you're paying, you're getting decent quality. It's not the absolute best quality, but it's decent enough that if that was the only palette you had, you could create some really nice looks with it. So that's how I feel about palettes, especially if you don't have, eyeshadow palettes or makeup that you're just adding to the actual palette, like a Z palette. That is my assessment today of products that I believe a lot of people have or don't have yet, that they're sleeping on, that they will need, and some information that will help you pick better products, better brushes, better setting sprays and whatnot for yourself. I apologize. It's been so crazy. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me give you guys the what's been going on with me update. So as of late, obviously the holidays are rolling around. So I'm picking up a lot more freelance hours with MAC and just running around like crazy in there. When I say these are back to back to back shifts, I am like having no time in between to set up, record a nice video, upload it. I haven't had time to do any of that. And I apologize to you guys, because I know you guys have subscribed and you're waiting for me to drop another video and all that good stuff. And nobody's telling me what they want to see. I'm going to be frank with you. Makeup tutorials, I feel personally a little played out because of the grounds that it's roughly the same concept, just varying based on your eye shape. You want to put down a base, put down a nice setting transition color, increase the depth in your lid and outer V, and then put a pop of color if you want to put a pop of color. It's pretty much the same, and I get to a point with makeup tutorials that I'm like, okay, it's basically the same look with different colors. So, I'm just... And the headache it takes to edit a makeup tutorial video is just, just use your imagination in an old video and change the colors as necessary. Unless I'm doing something that's just on some different, then, makeup tutorials just haven't been my thing for a while. But, if you guys ask for something, I try. Picking up all those shifts, I've just been so tired and wore out. And then I have to take my dog with it. My life's been crazy. My life's been a little bit crazy right now. And I do have some good news, which is I have been offered a permanent position with MAC Cosmetics. So I am no longer a freelancer, and I will actually be at a freestanding store opposed to a Macy's location or Dillard's location. Not that there's anything wrong with those, but freestanding store is the ultimate goal whenever you are with MAC Cosmetics. So, it's just, different rules, different game. But I'm super excited about that, even though I'm not jumping up and down. I'm so tired. I could literally lay down for another 3 hours right now. I'm that tired. But, that's what's been going on with me. I will be checking in with you guys soon about, that new journey and, let you guys know how things are going with that. And yeah, if you guys want to be notified when I upload something new, please hit the little bell below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you have not subscribed yet, then you need to go ahead and do so. So that way when the new stuff starts coming in, you're the first to be notified. If there's certain products you guys want me to try out or look into, let me know, and I will definitely see what I can do to get my hands on some and give you my honest thoughts on those products and whatnot. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.